dude, wake up. We're trying to, hey, we're trying to do a podcast. We're trying to speak, man. What are you doing? If you're the guest speaker, you need to sit up for a second, will you? Hey, Jeff, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, Jerrod.
Yeah,
and thanks, Hardy, for letting us share your space.
Yeah, real quick topic today. Social media. We need it.
Yes.
And we don't need it.
Yes.
Well, why is that? Why do we need it?
Well, as social beings,
Yeah.
social connection is really important to us. The part that we don't need is believing that our value lies on our social media experience. Our value as individuals and as people is self-determined.
Yeah.
But if you're letting what you see determine how you operate or how you feel about yourself, you're letting an outside force dictate your worth.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Especially when you got it's so readily accessible, and you think about like even the youth today, and even adults, even people that never had social media that have it now. You're talking about, Generation X, and baby boomers that are using social media, and they're being affected in terms of it's easy to take a look at everybody's posts and go, oh well, they've got these really nice curated vacations, and they got these beautiful meals, and their clothing looks fantastic, and it's all this. It's printing all the good stuff. What about all this shit out there where somebody's actually having a crap life? Nobody's posting that.
No, but that's where there's a term, toxic positivity,
right?
Which is where you're always looking at the best of everything. You're always looking at the unicorns and the rainbows of the world without actually realizing, no, even me, who's an optimist, doesn't stop the bad stuff happening. You just have to have the time and space to make sure you acknowledge your feelings, accept them, and then process it. Labeling your feelings, particularly whether you look at someone's post, and if you feel envious, you're okay to feel envious for what someone else is doing, but don't let that determine who you are. And that's where the great expression, name it to tame it. So if you feel jealous of someone else's social media posts or their perceived life, just go, oh, that's jealousy I'm feeling now. So when you acknowledge that you're not a jealous person, but you are feeling jealousy, it's much easier to let it go. If you are envious of someone else's lifestyle, that's okay. But don't say you're an envious person. It's just like the most important thing, and this is probably something I coach most people the most. You are not a failure. You have failed at something. That event, that moment, whatever you tried, if you failed, that doesn't mean you as a person is a failure, because otherwise babies would never learn to walk.
That's right. Well, they say they fall down 4,000 times before they actually learn to walk. So, and I think it comes back to that whole thing about moderation too. Yes. Understanding, and especially if it does something dramatic to you, the way you feel. If social media does something so dramatic that it changes the way you're thinking, your patterns, your behaviors, all that, if it changes something so dramatic, maybe you should just shut off a little bit.
Well,
you should put it down. Like the other day, it's just like one of the things that I love is that whenever I go out for dinner, I leave my phone in the car, leave all that stuff in the car, because I want to focus. I want to focus on, I want to focus on Nick or the kids or the meal or the people or the atmosphere. I want to focus on that. I don't want to focus on the phone. And that's where I see a lot of people anyways, and you see families out there doing that stuff. It's ridiculous.
Well, we have a rule in our family at the dinner table. There's no phones at the dinner table. And there's some of the best conversations we will have throughout the day is at our dinner table, no technology.
See, that reminds me of Little House on the Prairie. That feels like how far back you got to go. Little House on the Prairie. Laura Ingalls, and Dad and everybody, they're sitting down at the table, and because that didn't have anything, they were at the table. It was just, we're talking 150 years ago, but still. Hey, in terms of helping people that might have issues with social media or moderation or anything like that, what's the best suggestion you can give to somebody that might be experiencing some of this?
Well, one of the things to be aware of is there is digital deluge. We are getting bombarded, so just being aware that in the last 10 years, iPhones and smartphones are only 13 years old, 12, 13 years old. Right. So this technology is brand new, so we've never lived in this environment. digital distraction is now becoming a thing where you are constantly being bombarded. So sometimes the easiest way is to just turn off the notifications or reduce the number of notifications you're getting, and make sure the notifications you are getting are the important things, are the relevant stuff you want from people that you are interested in. Not everyone's feed, not everyone's bit of information, not everyone's status update, because then that's when the deluge and literally you're just getting inundated with too much information.
Absolutely.
So just reduce the notifications a little bit. Even that gives you a breather.
There you go. Good stuff. Hey, if somebody wants to get in contact with you,
Yeah.
how do they do it?
Just on our website, maxwellmckeon.com.au.
Awesome. Well, this is Jerrod and Jeff, the Attitude Coach. Good to have you here, man.
My pleasure. And sleeping hardy.